Hi, my name is Gizem Ayan from Hacettepe University Medical Faculty. I'm a rheumatologist.
Hi, and my name is Fabian Proft, rheumatologist also from Berlin, Germany, and it's our pleasure to present you today the update on the GRAPPA slide library.
Yes, thank you so much for the kind invitation. Actually, there was a previous slide deck which was created in 2013 and could be reached out from GRAPPA website. However, this slide library was not widely known and commonly used. For this reason, GRAPPA Education Committee initiated a project to update the old version in March 2022. And GRAPPA Education Committee partnered with Young GRAPPA to achieve this mission. And the first step was the creation of the steering committee that included Philip Helliwell, Fabian Proft, Janine Kovac, and myself. As a steering committee, our first aim to open a call to participate for Young GRAPPA members, and then we also obtained previous list of seniors and slide decks to create a drive folder for everyone to reach out. And then we sent invitations to seniors to create GRAPPA slide library update team, and we ended up with a GRAPPA slide library update team in May 2022. Here you are seeing the senior rheumatologists, senior advisor dermatologists, and very enthusiastic Young GRAPPA members made the GRAPPA slide library update team. And here you are seeing the sections that was included in the new version. And overall, our initial step was to create a standardized operating procedures to guide Young GRAPPians and seniors on the road. And the primary work was done by Young GRAPPians under supervision of senior advisors, which we thought that this was also a great opportunity for Young GRAPPians to learn and also expand their networking. And there were several key steps that draw our attention in particular. And first one was referencing and copyright. We made sure that every slide has been fully referenced, and we used photocourtesy statements when we used patient photos. And if we used images or figures from published manuscripts, it was contacted to formal journal approval, and we paid for copyright. And the second step was the internal review process. We assigned an internal reviewer from the team, but not from the particular deck, to ask these 4 questions to revise the particular deck. And we also sent back to the teams to receive their revisions. Overall, within the 1-year period, we initially received the first draft and reviewed it for SOP compliance and sent back to the team if necessary. And we sent the revised version to the internal review, and we required revisions from the team. And when we have the pre-final version, Annie Spengler, the executive assistant of the GRAPPA, kindly help us to make final amendments to the outline and pay for copyright. And when we have the final version, we upload it to the website for use for the educational purposes. And in July 2023, at the GRAPPA annual meeting, we could launch the GRAPPA slide library with honor in English version, and you can use this QR code to reach out to GRAPPA slide library.
Thank you, Gizem. That was a perfect presentation, and I think the most important point is that the GRAPPA slide library in the updated version is now reachable for everyone out there. And so I only have the pleasure to come up and start from the point where you created the launch and show how this is practically done. Because if you just go to your browser, and there are different ways. You can either use the QR code that you have just shown, or what I always do is that I go to GRAPPA Network, and then it's already on the starting page of GRAPPA Network. And I think it makes sense because here in the GRAPPA website, you also have other information around GRAPPA that might be of interest. And then you have here the slide library folder under resources. And I can just go here, and this directs us to the slides.grappanetwork.org page. We accept all cookies. And then we have the 11 categories that you have just mentioned of the slide library that are live. Currently, we only have the English version available, but this is a fully free educational resource that everyone out there can use. If you're giving a presentation around psoriatic disease, please feel free to dive into the GRAPPA slide library if you find relevant slides that you want to include in your presentations. The only rules are that you are not able to amend the slides and that you cannot change or alter any of the figures attached, because as Gizem has just mentioned, we have paid the copyright, but only in the way that the figures are presented in the journals. So let's say we have a presentation about epidemiology of psoriatic arthritis, and then we can just check here under classification and epidemiology, and then it sorts the slides for the ones of relevance to us. And I say, well, I definitely want to have an incident slide of psoriatic arthritis included in my talk. So I just hit the add to my download list. And we definitely also want to have something about the prevalence. So we also add this to our basket. And we also want to have a little bit about the clinical features on different phenotypes of psoriasis. So we have some very clear images that were contributed from GRAPPA members. So we also definitely add this to our slide deck. And we also want to have something about the risks that are associated with the development of PSA and PSO patients. And so we have this added to our slide library. You can go on and on and on with all those slides that we have in our slide library, which are roughly 500 slides. And then you just go to my slides. You see here that then this is created. You have the 4 slides that we have selected, and then you can just go to download the PowerPoint presentation, which comes up, and then we have it is successfully created, and we can just open it here, and you see the slides that we have selected. It looks like this. Here's the disclaimer that it's only you can only be used for educational cost-free purposes, and that you are not able or allowed to alter any of those. And then we have those slides that you can easily add to your presentations when you're speaking about anything about psoriatic disease. And we hope that you feel that these are helpful for you and that you are going to use it if you're teaching medical students, if you're speaking with patients, or if you're giving an expert presentation to other healthcare professionals. And I think this is the most important thing about the GRAPPA slide library. It is very easily to use, it's cost-free, and we really endorse you to use it for your educational purposes. And I think also when looking about what we already have and which was launched at the annual meeting in July 2023, I think it's also important to give a little outlook into the future. And maybe I can give back to you, Gizem. What are the next plans for the GRAPPA slide library?
Thank you, Fabian. Great presentation. And we are first planning to understand which countries and in which languages the GRAPPA slide library is used. And from then on, we are planning to make some translations to different languages and different cultures to make GRAPPA slide library available in different populations. And the second aim is to provide a plan to update this slide library from time to time to make the all knowledge novel. So these are all 2 plans that we are planning to do in the near future.
Fascinating. So, but let us summarize. So everyone out there who sees this presentation can just go to grappanetwork.org and can check out what is on the GRAPPA website and can then transfer to the GRAPPA slide library and is heartily invited to just browse through the slides that we have created within our team with a very strong expert knowledge from both dermatologists and rheumatologists, and use them in your daily life for your educational purposes, but also to highlight that more interesting things and fascinating things are coming up. First is the translation, and very important, as you mentioned, also the frequently updates of the slide library, because we all know that the scientific world is spinning so fast, and I think it will be one key challenge to stay up to date with the slide library as well. Thank you, Gizem. It was a real pleasure being here today with you virtually and present on the GRAPPA slide library update. And yeah, really much looking forward to seeing all of you there, and only want to endorse you to really use this incredible cost-free educational tool.
Exactly. Thank you.
Bye-bye.